Okay, so anytime I think about dating back then, I always think of the Titanic, okay? I don't know why, but I think it's because it pisses me off a little bit. Like, I feel bad for Rose. I feel like it was a great example of how women had to deal with fucking dating back then. Because fucking Rose, poor Rose, felt so trapped. She's on this stupid boat. She doesn't even want to be on the boat. Like,
Yeah, because she's with a person that she doesn't want to be with.
she's with rich bitch boy. I call him that in my head. Because her mom is like making her be with him pretty much, because her mom's a gold-digging, broke woman who has no money, and all she strives for is prestige. So she's making her daughter court with this rich guy who she's not even in love with. Okay. And then she feels like she's drowning in everything. So she almost kills herself off the boat. And I feel like that was a good metaphor for women back then, because they all felt like they were stuck in something they didn't want to be in. A lot of them, not all of them, but most of them they weren't picking people that they wanted to date back then, like in the early 1900s and 1800s, because they wanted to date them. Most of the time it was because they were forced or they were pushed towards certain men because
for survival or for society.
For survival, or because their families and stuff wouldn't even give them their property or any of their money unless they did marry someone.
Right.
So you're kind of stuck. Anyways, and I also thought the fact that he gave her that fucking 900-pound necklace was ridiculous.
Honestly,
that blue 900-pound necklace. Like, no wonder she felt like she was fucking drowning. She was
her neck was probably busted.
I think that was the thing that put the ship down. I don't think it was the iceberg. I have an actual conspiracy theory that the necklace took the ship down.
It was too heavy.
It was too heavy. But yeah, no, my point is that, like, I just feel, I'm not saying that all relationships were like that back then. I'm sure some people either fell in love with someone or they grew to love someone, I'm sure. But a lot of them were just for prestige and moving up the ladder, or their families are forcing them, or there's like arranged marriages, which still happen today.
Yeah.
It's very sad. But yeah, it was just taught as like a young age that because there wasn't very many jobs for them or anything, so they were taught to like find a suitor and find someone to support them, because they weren't pushed to support themselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
that's right, because they didn't have the means to support themselves at that time. I'm pretty sure women couldn't even own property at that time.
I don't know if 1912 they couldn't own property. I know things started happening in like the early 1900s that made a woman able to own property, but at some point, I'm not sure on the timeline, I think it was a little before then, maybe even at that time, you weren't even allowed to have your family's property and assets passed down to you, which is why they had to marry someone.
Oh my God.
Or they wouldn't be able to keep their money.
Imagine.
But then it's not actually their money. You just have to hope that your husband's gonna fucking share it with you. Like,
Jesus.
it's fucking stupid.
Like, I couldn't imagine having to marry somebody to get what is like rightfully yours.
Yeah, I know.
And why the parents wouldn't just give it to them.
I know. Like, there was no jobs for them, so there's no really means of making their own money, because there was no jobs created for women, because they were expected to stay at home back then, right? So it's just crazy. Anyways, but Mythbusters fucking corrected that myth that piece of wood couldn't hold both of them. Like,
so it could hold them?
It could have held Jack and Rose, and they both could have lived happily ever after, and he didn't have to float to the bottom of the ocean, and I don't have to cry at the end of the Titanic every single time I watch it. I always watch it expecting a different outcome.
I know.
Every time I make it there, and I'm like, this is the time
it's gonna change
on that piece of wood.
Just hoping for the Mandela effect.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the time. Oh God, did you? So I made a fucking TikTok of the scene.
I haven't seen it.
And he's holding his phone as he's holding her hand, and then as he starts to go, she takes the phone.
Oh.
And then he reaches back up and grabs it and brings it down with him. I thought that was funny.
That is so funny.
Oh God, I died. It's just crazy the difference from then to now. Like, the amount of the amount of opportunities women have to like fend for themselves and have their employment, everything gives us such the ability to be like, fuck you, I don't like you, you're cute, you're not cute.
Yeah, honestly, like, it gives,
Yeah.
And there's no pressure of, oh, I need to find a husband. I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, up until last summer, I was completely okay with just being single and living my life. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm still okay with being single. I just choose to be with someone.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like I don't have to. I've never been one to be. I was never a huge dater.
Oh, for sure. And like, I would be completely okay by myself, but my life is enhanced by Tyler. So that's why that's the only reason you should really be in a relationship now. It's not for money. It's not for status. It's not for anything really. Like, you can do your own shit, women.
Now, there are people who still date for money, for lots of money and status. And like, hey, all to them. If you can not work a day in your life and just marry rich men, like, I'm jealous a little. But at the same time, it's like, it's not a thing that everyone has to worry about. That you have to find someone who can support you, which is nice because it's very restricting.
Yourself. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but okay, I just find it funny though, because with the vast amount of options we have, I feel like we have too many options though.
Yeah, it kind of just makes us shut down, I think.
You're in the dating apps. Yeah, because there's so many options. You're like, you don't know what to do. Like, I'm just like, hey, yep, nope, yep, no on the Tinder app. And by the end, you swipe for like 3 hours, like back in the day. And then you'd be sitting there and then you'd have like some messages. And you're like, which one do you do? Like, which one do you go for? There's just so many options.
Yeah. At the end of my Tinder career, I really like got it down to an art of only swiping with people that I would literally like only sleep with or date or whatever.
I feel like it was a thing everyone loved back then. I don't know I think people still use the app. I'm assuming.
So. Yeah.
I'm assuming. But it's literally like a fucking game.
I think it is like it's kind of designed as a game,
or a
like
fuck game, whatever you want to call it.
Like the most amount of matches wins, I think.
Yeah, but it's even the whole process of like when you get there is like a game. I think that's why it's so addicting, because you're always trying to figure out what the outcome's going to be, and you get there and it's like it's always a new person, a new situation, like you're trying to like, but it always is like the same pattern, like evolution of the night.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you match and then you talk for a bit, and then if you don't make plans for a date within the first day, you're not getting one. I'm sorry. So then you go on the date and then you're nervous and you're like, what do I wear? How much effort do I put in?
It's not even a date though. And it's usually just like, hey, want to come out and come over and watch a movie? Or it's at 2 a.m. and they're drunk from the bar and they're like, hey, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, like for hookups, I would literally just go over in track pants and be like, okay, here we go.
Oh, would you? Yes. I wouldn't have dressed up fancy back then, but I would have like probably wore like yoga pants
back then, like a top. Last summer before I met Tyler. That was the only time I really used Tinder, because even when I had Tinder when I was single, I couldn't use it in North Bay. It's too small. Especially working as security, you go to try to kick a guy out and he's like, hey, Morgan, we swipe, like we matched. I'm like, fuck you, bye.
No, working at McDonald's was the worst for that too. The amount of matches you'd see. I remember.
That's why I stopped.
Awful.
Because you would see somebody and you're like, I kind of recognize you, and then your stomach would flip and you're like, how do I know them?
And then you're like, someone please run this food for me. I can't. Honestly. And you like run to the back.
No, Alanah, do you remember how many times I had to run to the back because of foggy glasses or
anyone? No, me too. Or that I can't even say his name on here, I don't think.
No.
We'll just call him Nick. I won't say his last name.
Okay.
That guy, right?
Foggy glasses.
And is there two Nicks?
No.
Oh
yes. Okay. Yes.
I'm like waiting for you to realize. I'm like,
sorry.
when you don't say his last name, it's not powerful.
It's not.
And then I was like, she doesn't understand. But if I don't want to say his last name though.
No. Yeah. Because
we made a drinking game about this guy.
He literally stalked me.
Yeah. We made a drinking game. Anytime that he was at a same party as us or anything, or any of my other friends, and anyone would say his first name or his last name, we'd have to drink.
Because it was always his first and last name. Like, nobody could just say his first name.
Oh, and even if someone just said his first name or just his last name, we'd still drink. We were so fucked up. My friend Haley, was KO'd at like 11:30 in the morning because we had a huge
Homecoming.
it was homecoming. And the poor girl, because we played and we were the only two in that room that knew the game was going on because no one else knew this game besides us. And we kept making each other drink, and it was bad for her. I felt so bad.
Oh my God.
It was funny looking back at it, though.
Like, because that whole situation with that guy, like, it kind of reminds me of the situation you had with Jim where he thought that you were dating.
Yeah. After one date, we didn't even kiss or anything.
No, I went farther than that. But, like, so our first hangout, like, so at the first year of university, I was in this program, and it was called Student Transitioning Program. It was for students that had learning disabilities in high school going into university, and they would bring you through a course, get you some skills, and show you all the different things that you had to help you in the university. And there was lots of fun programs that we got to run and games, so we really got close. These like 20 kids. Mm-hmm. It was the week before Frosh. So we had just our group of STP kids. We had a anything but clothes party. So I wore a nice towel dress. It was awesome. Like, go. And I had my eyes on another guy. And then I blacked out, wake up next to this one guy. I didn't even know his name. I recognized him from the program, but I didn't know his name. And I turn over, my knees are stuck to the bed sheets because I had scrapes all up and down my legs because I ran down a trail and fell. Lost my shoes, lost my bra. I had to call my father to pick me up.
He was probably mortified.
In a towel. So first I call my dad. I'm like, Dad, can you please come pick me up? I stayed at a friend's house. And he's like, sure, where are you? I'm like, we're up at TRC. The guy turns over. He's like, we're at lower residence. Because I had no recollection of going anywhere other than TRC. Oh my God. Yeah. So I wake up. I'm like, I don't know where my fucking bra is. Like, great. So I am wearing my dress, no shoe. Well, it's a towel.
Well, not a dress, it's a towel.
Yeah, I'm dressed in a towel, no shoes, legs bloody. And my hair is fucked. I go down in the elevator, get to the lobby of the residence, and it's move-in day. Everybody's there. My dad's waiting out front. He just shakes his head. He's like, Morgan. I'm like, don't talk to me. I got home and my mom's like, Morgan. I'm like, yay.
I love how it was move-in day. Like, that's a fucking film.
Yeah. So anyways, I hooked up with this guy one time by accident, and then he thought we were dating. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know his name.
No, I remember him coming to our work, honestly, and we were like,
back he's then like looking for me.
Yeah, he would come in and be like looking, like his eyes, and you'd be like, he's here for me. Honestly, say he's here.
I was because he thought we were dating, and then it was Frosh week. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for the 901 party because after Frosh week at exactly 9:00, the Frosh leaders contracts, and
they're allowed to drink.
So they're allowed to drink, and they're allowed to like hook up with their Froshies. And I had my eyes on one Frosh leader, and I was talking to him about it, and he's like, how would you feel if I went and hooked up with my Frosh leader? I was like, do it. Like, he got super mad at me because we weren't on the same page. And then the way I broke it off with him, we went to a party, another like party with the program that we were involved in. And I completely just like, he was sticking around for a bit, but I told him not to stick around. And then I obviously just went and hooked up with another guy from our program. And that's how I ended it with him. So
yeah, now he probably hates you, but it's okay because at least he knows you're not dating.
Exactly.
Right?
After 2 weeks.
Jeez, eh?
Yeah, so that was my great story.
God.
That was horrible.
I know. I've had so many too. It's like, it's ridiculous.